Tick tock, time na money. Ori, me, check a sheko yori. Lick it, come and take me away to the place of my desire. I don't wanna be there.
Yes, people. Welcome back to the show. It's Lasgidi Effect. As you
Yes,
already
sir.
know, we're glad to be back again. And just a bunch of Niger boys will come here, banter, talk about football.
Which episode is
Give,
it now? Which
give you some of
episode
that.
we
Oh, we did episode 33. Oh, this is the
Oh,
33rd edition of this show.
Oh my
If you
days,
like
that's
play,
good.
oh my bro.
we don't try. We don't
If you
try.
like play, but we don't try. It's been a good time. Anyways, how's it going now? Kuma, how you did? How you did go?
Obviously, a little bit disappointed from the game, but but you can't complain from Arsenal's recent results. If you had told me we'll be in this position at the start of the season, I would have said you're dreaming. So
It's
yeah, so it's more.
nine wins out of 12. That's a pretty
Yeah,
good record.
it's obviously a bit bittersweet from yesterday, but unless we got something to discuss at least.
Yeah. Musty boy, what's up? How about you though? How are you doing?
I'm good. You know me. Whether Arsenal win a 10 games in a row or they win 12 games in a row, to me, I would still keep saying what I'm saying. I'm not gonna hide myself on this with this Arsenal. You know my view about the manager and the kind of player that the guy brought in. The- I don't know where to start from again, but a lot of people. I want to make one thing clear. Personally, I never hate anybody, but any player that wants to come and play for Arsenal, any player that we sign that wants to come and play for Arsenal has to be an upgrade to what we have before. Like Aaron Ramsey, I can say because I'm one of the people that said, okay, I don't want him because he's get relegated twice back to back, but he has came in to prove me wrong. How much do we spend on him? About 30 odd million.
30 million. 30 million, yeah.
How much do look? I'm going to give you two examples, right? Our manager saying that we want to close the gap on Liverpool and Manchester City. Yesterday shows how far out how we're still far away from them. This is the thing. A lot of last week, I think that Akuma said I'm hating on Ben White. I'm not. I don't hate Ben White.
Musty,
He's a
What's
listen.
the
Let me
point?
listen. Wait,
Musty boy
wait,
has
wait,
gone straight into the
wait,
rant. If you
wait,
continue.
wait. I'm going to give you an example. I didn't hate the guy personally, but if Arsenal go out to spend a 50 million on a defender, it means that defender should come into the defense and say, "Yeah, I'm the boss here." To me, up till now, if anybody, any Arsenal fan that come and tell me Ben White is an upgrade to Rob Holding, um, I
I
can
will.
argue
I
that
will.
one.
I will. I will
Wait,
say that.
wait, hang on. Let me
Let's
finish.
not get into the argument just yet, though. But Musty boy,
Yeah,
finish your point.
to me, Ben White is not an upgrade to Rob Holding. What is that guy can do that Rob Holding cannot do? Tell me. I really want you to tell me.
You know what? We'll actually, I'm noting
I'm
that
ready,
down.
man.
We'll talk
I'm,
about it for a moment,
Come on,
right?
man.
ready.
But I want us to
Because
talk about some
because
of the
let
things that
me, because that yesterday, Ben White doesn't look like a 50 million player,
My goodness,
and
man.
it doesn't have it. This guy never bring anything to the table for me
Man, talk about
personally.
agenda, though.
Musty boy,
Agenda.
let's not make the start of the show about Ben White,
Come
right?
on, man.
I
Let's
think
talk the structure.
what's interesting, what's interesting from yesterday to me, and which I
Mm.
think is one of the things that we're going to spend a lot of time discussing on the show is the implication of the results yesterday. So we can start by talking a bit about yesterday's game, but also in the context that it has now opened everything up. Like all the race for the title is wide open now. The race for the top four is wide open now, and like we can prepare to have a very frantic, end of the season, right? So I'm gonna come to you, Akuma, first. Yesterday, Arsenal versus Liverpool, 2-0.
Mm.
What were your thoughts going into that game, and what were your thoughts, about the
Yeah.
results that we had
By
eventually?
the way, I would say this, yeah, if you look at the stats, actually there wasn't much between the two. I've got the stats in
That is
front of me
true.
right now. Yeah,
That is
so
true.
most people, I don't come with my
my,
opinion, I come with
oh
the
my
stats. So
No,
I've
that
got
days.
is
the stats.
absolutely
Oh
true,
my god.
actually.
I've got the stats in front of me now.
Ah,
So in terms
oh
of
my
shots,
god.
both teams had 9
No,
shots
most boy,
together.
let Akuma
Let me
finish.
finish.
Nine
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
shots.
make my
listening.
case.
I'm
Let
listening.
me
I'm
make my
listening.
case. Arsenal had 2 shots on target. Liverpool had 3. Considering Liverpool on possession side, the possession was Arsenal had 48, Liverpool had 52. Arsenal completed 505 passes, Liverpool 528. Pass accuracy, and this is quite impressive. Arsenal was 80%, Liverpool was 82%. And obviously the only thing that they really bossed us on was corners. Arsenal only had 1,
They had
and
a
Arsenal had
ton of
6.
corners.
So
Yeah.
what I'm just saying though, it was fine margins that cost us the game. It was we had a more lethal striker. Like I said, should have grounded Anderson and probably would have scored. Odegaard should have scored. And obviously there was a mistake. I think Ramsdale would agree. He should have done better as a goalkeeper. You don't get beaten by your near post and stuff. But it was margins. And you have to remember, if you look for player, you see, this is the thing. If you look for player, Liverpool have a better team than Arsenal. If we were to play each other 10 times, Liverpool will beat us 8 times out of those 10. So if any chance that Arsenal have got to beat Liverpool have got levels have got to drop, and our levels have got to excel. That and that's Premier League, and it just happened that it just fell on the side
wrong
of football.
side.
Liverpool were going to
Interestingly, that was the 4th time we've played Liverpool this season. We've lost 3 times. We had 1 draw. We've conceded 8 goals, and we've not scored a single goal. So, most people, I see you are upset about this whole thing. Share your thoughts.
Birmingham, that's what you just said. We played one team, Liverpool, 4 times. We didn't score a
Yeah, I
single
mean,
goal.
like it goes to show what Akuma was saying, that if we play them 10 times, they'll beat us 8 out of 10.
Let me tell you. We played them 4 times, or we didn't score a single goal. Okay, that's really bad. Okay, so Akuma mentioned something earlier. I can't remember what you mentioned. Okay, you're talking about stats, right? If stats win title, Manchester City will have won the title by now, because you watch Manchester City sometimes, they have about 80% of the ball. They will have won title by now. Football, I don't care. Who cares? I don't care about stats. I don't care whether Arsenal only have Liverpool have you go and watch some other team. They got like maybe probably 20% of the game. Stats don't count. It's what that round thing that go to the back of the net that counts. I don't know why. I was watching AFTV interview. A lot of people are saying exactly what Akuma is saying.
Yeah.
The start. There's no difference between the two teams.
You're not representing my point.
No. They're saying that.
Take a good argument. You have to represent your opponent's points as accurately as you can.
I do understand.
I'm not saying
listen, this is
everything. All I'm trying to do is No, let me finish your point. I'm trying to look at the game holistically. We know where Arsenal are short at the moment. Everyone will tell you it's up front. We haven't got that lethal striker that can bang in the goal and stuff like that. And that was the difference from yesterday. Yes. I would agree. If Arsenal would have scored first in that second half, we probably would have gone to win the game, because we're quite good defensively as well.
Listen,
so like I said, it's fine margins.
It's fine margin. It's not a possession football that counts. If the possession of football, listen. If that, because the way you said it, you said there's not too much different between when we look at the stats. There's margins. But listen, let me tell you one thing. At the end of the day, we're looking at the result here. We're not. Yeah. That is what counts.
Okay, so most people, you've established that you're not happy with the result.
Listen, if that is the case, time of Arsene Wenger, when Arsenal will have so many possession, but we still come back and lose the
Yeah,
game.
but you're not.
No. You see, you're right.
Oh,
There's no argument. I think there's no
Yeah,
argument,
but
right? That
don't this is
stats will not
listen.
win you the game. The
What I'm
stats are not
saying,
what
what
matters.
I'm
It's the
saying
goals that
is,
matter.
listen, it's the goals that matters. What I'm saying is, this is a competition. We should be. If everybody is saying that, oh, Liverpool is too good, Man City is too good,
they're
then
not
we should
saying
be in this
that.
competition. Then
This is
it's
a
a
straw
you
man in
just
your
gotta go
argument.
there and
This is a
if
straw man in your argument.
oh
If
my
all
days.
I'm
You
saying
know
is
what?
this:
You know.
remember at the start of the season that the gap between Man City and Arsenal was catastrophic, and
Okay.
Arsenal's strategy was this: okay, Liverpool's and Man City squad are aging. The whole point now, you need to buy players. You're not going to buy established players like Haaland, what's his name? This PSG player,
Mbappe.
Mbappe. You're not going to. Arsenal are not in that league. So what Arsenal need to do? We need
So
to
what
buy.
league is Arsenal in then if we cannot buy an established player? What league are
No,
we in?
the strategy is it's
No, no,
about
no, 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 no. You
no,
just said
no,
something that we're not
no.
going to
Let me
buy
finish.
an ex.
Allow me
We're
to
not
Let
going
let
to
finish.
buy
let,
an
let
ex.
Akuma finish,
Okay,
most boy, and
finish.
Finish my
then
point. The strategy that you have to do right now is this: you buy players under the radar that no one's looking. So literally, you get them 22, 23, you get Gabriel, you get Oligard, you get all these players that are under the radar, that literally you get them at such a young age that they have not peaked yet. They're about to hit their peak. And Arsenal have done a brilliant strategy by getting these young players now. And now, hopefully, in the next coming years, when they peak, because you remember, the average age of Arsenal squad is 23 years old.
But
They're
kids
not
won't
going to
win
be
you.
yeah,
Kids
let
will
me
not win
finish.
you anything. Kids
See,
not going to win you
I know,
nothing.
I know what
That
okay,
somebody
you
is
know
else
the
is
what,
that is
saying.
the
guys,
reality.
we have. I mean, Osman Ali, big ups to you. Thanks for joining. It says Mossy Boy's skepticism reminds me of myself from 2006 2018. I didn't trust any purple patch, any signing, or anything Wenger was saying. Now I believe I see it. I'm guessing he's saying that you can see
Yes,
Arteta's the journey that we're on right now and the progress that we're making. Right. So
yes.
Mossy Boy, I think Mossy Boy is simply saying that in his own point of view, we should be competing with teams like
But
Liverpool and Man City.
because you know what
We
baffled me, yeah?
should
You know what baffled me, yeah?
concede that they're better
So
than us,
so no
which
no
I
no.
think
You know
is what Mossy Boy hasn't agreed.
what baffled me is so many Arsenal fans. They kind of I don't know how they could lower. I'm not the level I am here. I will never ever. Because this Arsenal is absolutely my team and I will support them. I will never lower the
The
expectation
standard.
I'm expecting from Arsenal. I expect them to be challenging.
But
Don't
Mossy
tell
Boy,
me because
don't you?
we don't
You know,
have we
But Mossy
don't
Boy,
have
why you're correct, right? Would you admit, just player for player, do you think that Liverpool have a better squad and maybe even a better manager than us?
but they have it is the manager. They have a better manager than Arsenal. That is
I mean, like
look
Klopp
at it.
is a
Look at
winner, is
is
experienced.
is a
Ateta
winner.
is new
Look
in the
at
job.
this is where you're going to see it. Yeah, in the first half, he sees that because he sees that when we're going forward, we're not ruthless enough to score goals, and everybody think that oh yeah, we're well we played good in the first half, and all that's oh yeah but the second half, what happened? He brought on Salah. He just like you can see their manager. He doesn't even have a team talk halftime. He just tell them that just go back out there and just step it up
So
one more gear.
let's talk about something though. I think that one of our, like Akuma said earlier, the biggest problem we faced in that game was just that finishing,
yes,
within our striker. And I'm beginning to think that this is one of the problems that we would face with the new way that we've built Lacazette, or the new way
Mm,
we've now made Lacazette start to play. Because to me, he plays more of a midfield role than a
mm,
striker's role, right?
mm.
And it seems to me as well that he seems to have even lost, or maybe that instinct has just dulled a bit.
Yeah,
That
that's
striker's instinct. So
yeah.
when he's supposed to shoot, sometimes you're like, why hasn't he just taken the shot?
Mm.
Sometimes when you expect him to be at the end of a pass or something, is just never there. Is always looking to be, in the around, like, that outside the box. It's a bit weird to me. I look, for example, at the two goals that Liverpool scored, right? the Diogo Jota goal, if that was Lacazette in that position, I don't think he would have taken the shot.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That shot wasn't sure that shot was going to go in, because normally the goalkeeper should have stopped that, because it was on his near side.
It's near post,
But
yes.
But Jota, a man that is confident, a very, very lethal finisher, he will still take that shot. I don't think Lacazette would have taken it. The second goal that Firmino scored, time and time again during that game, Martinelli had been in that same position that Robertson was, trying to pass back and find a striker. But Lacazette was never there. And I'm thinking to myself, this is what, in my opinion, cost us against Liverpool. We could have scored, but we just didn't have that. How much of a problem do you think this is going to be, in terms of our top 4 challenge? I don't know what you think about that.
I'll say this, though. I think for us to get top 4, forget about beating the Liverpools, the Man Cities, and the Chelseas. We've got to beat the Tottenhams and the Manchester Uniteds and teams below.
So
let me finish, Mossy Boy. To be fair, we've been more consistent in doing that. There have been some dodgy results. Like I said, I would agree with Mossy Boy. Everton away, you got Burnley at home. These are results that you should get. But we are a bit more consistent in that. Beating Wolves away, that was not easy. But to get a 1-0 victory has been good. And obviously the game against Aston Villa, these are the games that we need to win to win for us to maintain that top 4. So it's not about beating the Man Cities of these worlds, or the Liverpools of these worlds, or the Chelseas of these worlds. It's the teams below that we need to do that to cement our top 4 position.
So are you still? My question is: do you still think we're going to finish top 4? I don't think so.
I mean, statistically, we still have the chance.
We have the best chance we've had in years. Yes,
we still have the chance.
How many times have you've seen a lot of people come out and say, "Oh, statistically, we can still finish top 4."
No. It's just looking at the table right now. We're currently 4th on the table. We are
currently 4th. Yeah,
we are ahead of the two major people we're competing with is United and Tottenham. We're ahead of the 2 of them, and we've played less games. So we actually are in the best position to make that 4th place. But whether we will or not is in our hands.
But me personally, I don't like to play catch up. I don't like to have a game in hands.
Yeah, because game in hand means nothing.
It doesn't. It's not a point.
It's different though. We have games in hand, and we're still 4th.
And that's just the point. It means that with less games, we've accumulated more points.
If you lose those games in hand, it doesn't.
We still have more points. That's the point. We're still ahead of them.
We still have more points. Then every time they play, they go above us. We go back down. So that's the thing. That's the reality.
You know what? I think this is trauma. I think collectively, Arsenal have been through thing. We just have collective.
This is Unai Emery. I keep telling you, Unai Emery, he left a bad taste.
Even if we had one game and we're 4 points clear, 4-4, most people will say, "Yeah, but the FA could still not cost points." It's the collective trauma that we have.
Listen. I will be real. I will be real. I don't think we're going to finish that top 4. We're going to bottle it because, like I said, kids don't win you nothing.
It's trauma, man. It's trauma.
Okay, Master Boy. And I know you're not somebody who gets impressed by like purple patches and everything. But when you look at our last 12 games, and this is fact, this is what has happened, right? We have actually won 9 of those 12 games, right? Yeah. And I think before we lost to Liverpool, the only team that was in a better form than us now was Manchester City, right? Because at that time we had won. Winning 9 out of 12 games is a pretty big deal. That's like I said, it's 75% win rate.
Like I said to you,
and we had only lost to. So we lost to City at the first start of the year, and now we've lost to Liverpool, who, if you are being honest, are the 2 best teams in this league, right? So in that run of 12 games, the only game that we haven't won that you can say we should have won is the Burnley game. Right. So just looking at that trend, don't you think that there's something positive in there?
Even though if we go all those 10 or 12 games you just mentioned and we all of them are W's, we won all of them. I'm still not going to hide.
Really? If we beat
I'm not. Listen, let me tell you. No, it's not a trauma yet. Even though I keep saying, even though the season end and I look at the table, I see either Liverpool or Man City. Because to me, I don't care who win the league. I don't. That one is not my. It's not. I don't care. So whoever person that wins the league is fine. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
100%.
can.
So I just look frozen on that. So yeah, whoever person that wins the league is fine by me. But and I come at the end of the season, I look at the table, whether Man City or Liverpool, then Chelsea, and I saw Arsenal fourth. I still want the manager to be gone because yes,
Oh my goodness.
I still want the manager to be gone
Most people,
because
how do you justify that though? If we've not been in
You can't
Champions
justify
League in like 5 or 6 years now,
yes,
a manager gets us into Champions League. How do you
yes,
justify sacking him?
because I'm
after he has done
justifying
that?
it in the recent
bro,
Champions
hate,
League
man.
matches
That's
I've been
phobia.
watching. Because that the manager is not good enough to take us to the Champions League. We're just going to go to that Champions League and make up numbers. Because you see almost results in the Champions League. The team that you don't everybody step up.
Yeah,
big
but most people
time.
think about it this
Most
way
people,
as
you
well.
can't
We didn't
do it
expect I for example, I didn't expect this manager to
yeah.
be in this top 4 race right now. I expected him
Exactly.
to finish in like 6th or 8th or something. But
Yeah.
he has proved me wrong. He has defied that opinion. Whether it is luck or whether it is actually, his ability that has gotten him where he is. The point is
Yeah.
he's doing it. Why don't you think that he can potentially prove you wrong again in the Champions League? Because for me, the way I see it, if Arteta makes top 4, I cannot say Arteta out, right? It doesn't matter whether I like him or not, but I can't say Arteta out. If he's done it, he has earned the right to take us to the Champions League.
Do you know the reason why a lot of people are still saying, "Oh, Atata is still they're giving him a support"? Sorry, I am having just a bit of issue with my.
No, but we can hear you. Don't worry.
Yeah, so a lot of the reason why a lot of people are still talking by this manager is because we are at this point we are only playing one game a week. We are not in any European competition. If we are in any European competition, you will see different.
Exactly. So most people will take it season after season. If we make top 4, if we make top 4, you can't.
Yeah.
There's no justification to sack the manager. If you then go into the next season and it's failing, and then you can have the conversation. Or what do you think, Akuma, though?
Yeah, I just don't get the point, you see, because at the end of the day, one of the criticisms, one of the things, when a lot of people were saying that Arteta out was he hasn't got enough time to coach his philosophy on the squad because he had a game on Thursday and a game on Sunday, so there was no time. The reason why, and it's something I did say at the beginning of the season, and you can check the archives, that us not playing in Europe will benefit us because he's got more time on the training field to actually implement his philosophy. What actually impressed me yesterday was Arsenal was still playing from the back against a high-pressing Liverpool side. And I'm like,
in the first half, we were actually pretty impressive in the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
Akuma, I've got a question.
Let Akuma finish. Let Akuma finish.
Like to see Arteta's training methods actually working now because he's actually got a week to implement his philosophy, and you can see it now. He's getting the players that he wants. This is becoming Arteta's team, not remnants of Wenger's boys or Emery's boys.
This team has taken the shape of Arteta. I agree with that. Exactly. Let's welcome Tade. Tade, big up to you. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Come on, back me up, yo.
Big up, guys. Back me up. What's happening to you? Are they chewing you wrong?
You know, Mercy Boy is forever anti-Arteta, so we're having a bit of an argument here. So, Tade, I want you to jump right into it.
I've given up on Mercy Boy.
I even want Tade to jump right into it, right? So what we've just said now is everybody can see that Arsenal have a chance to make top 4.
I'm going to drop out. I will come back in after I need to sort this out. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Sure. Everybody can see that Arsenal have a chance at making top 4 this season. Whether we'll do it or not, I mean, we'll find out. But Mercy Boy is saying that even if Arteta makes top 4, you fire him and you get somebody else because he doesn't think Arteta is good enough to play in the Champions League. What is your opinion about that, Tari?
I mean, Mercy Boy is entitled to his own opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I just think that he's doing himself a favor. Like you said before, he's doing himself a favor so that the heartbreak won't be too much for him. If at the end of the day he was right about Arteta. And I also think he's just his bias against Arteta that is making him to say that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like someone, it's quite difficult for that person to please you, no matter what that person does. And that's just my opinion. That's what I think about that, Mosibo's opinion on Arteta. But at the end of the day, if you are after success and someone is doing what you've been asking for, why sack him? It just makes absolutely no sense. Why sack him? And secondly, we keep comparing Arsenal to Manchester City or Liverpool. Yes, we can compare them because they're big clubs. We can compare the names of the club. But right now, on the field of play, we are nowhere near those teams. So this is one of the reasons why it's difficult for us to be comparing ourselves with Man City or Liverpool. And secondly, a lot of people are judging Arteta based on the first 2 seasons. And let's go back to 2 seasons ago. We've had a lot of arguments on this platform for years now. We've been going back and forth, and I got so tired of repeating myself that, listen, we are in a rebuilding process. We needed to break down the foundation. We needed to get people out of the club. And we were doing that gradually. If we look at the team that Arteta met when he came and the team now, as we're speaking today, there is a massive difference in the personnel in the club, in the way they behave, in the culture in the club. There's a lot of differences. And we can see it. We can see it. And I know that for fans, they can only see it when we are winning games. Unfortunately, that's the only way fans can see it. But I saw these things even when we're not winning games. I did see it. And that's the difference. So we need to be more open-minded to see certain changes, even if we're not winning games, but to actually see that there's a gradual change coming. And Rome was not built in a day. I remember saying this thing several times, that we should not expect quick success. So for me, we're actually overachieving right now. We are overachieving because, and the simple reason I'm saying we're overachieving is because I look at this team, I look at yesterday, and I could see that there's a big gulf in class between Liverpool and Arsenal. And I'll tell you what I mean by big gulf in class. Yes, we were able to hold them for the first 45 minutes and all whatnot. But after we were 2 goals down, you could see that the guys slouched, their heads were down, they lost confidence in themselves, they lost belief. And these are not elements of winners. What makes you winners is when you are able to fight till the death, regardless of who you are playing. And that mentality shift is very, very hard. It's hard for a manager to do that. Very hard. You need to be able to motivate yourself in situations like that and tell yourself, listen, these guys are not better than me. That's the only way. And let me tell you something. The reason why Liverpool and Man City, they win games is not because in some cases they play better. Let's be honest. So many games they don't play better, but they still win because they have that winner's mentality. So that's why I say there's still the golf in class. So the golf in class is not even about, let's say, man to man. I mean, Martinelli had this guy on toast yesterday.
He smoked him
but
completely.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But we still lost the game. We still lost the game. So the point I'm extra ingredient to be a winner is for you to be able to motivate yourself and tell yourself, listen, no matter where today. And that's the difference. And it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Thank you.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
I
Okay, you can
when we had the invincible season, I remember we were 3-1 down against Middlesbrough in the second half, and we came back to 5-3. We had that mentality then. And yeah. Oh, was it
no, nothing is wrong. It's just
We had that mentality then, and like I said, I think it's also what happens is, and when Arsenal had the invincible season, Arsenal won the game before a ball was even kicked because the opposition was just scared of us. Now Liverpool have that factor, and Man City have that factor, and like I said, because we've not had the succession of winning, or not used to it, it's going to take time. And I agree. Once Liverpool went 2-0 up, we just we can't compete. So
yeah, it was hard to compete. Anyways, thanks for that, Tade and Akuma. Big ups to you, Theo. Thank you for joining us. Theo, can you hear us? Just to confirm if you can hear us. I'm not sure. Theo, we can't hear you. If you can fix your audio if you want to speak. But anyways, I think that we've had an interesting debate about that Liverpool game. For me, like I said, 9 out of 12 wins is still a very impressive thing. What happens now is, how do we go forward, right? We still have to play Chelsea, we still have to play Manchester United and Tottenham. So, Monsiboy, in your opinion, those 3 games, I think, I mean, we still have some tough games like Aston Villa and some of these other clubs, but I think those 3 games are probably like our biggest 3 games that we need to try to overcome. So, Mercy Boy, in your opinion, do you think we can win any of those games?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say you don't I don't want to get ahead. I would say we don't let us get ahead of ourselves here. Let's just go to Aston Villa and see what happened first of all. Because if Arsenal go to Aston Villa and they come back not winning that game, then I would say just forget about
But
beating.
judging by what's been happening though, don't you feel
Mhm.
a bit confident about Aston Villa? I
No.
know Tade says that we're punching above our weight right now, but doesn't that give
Uh,
you some sense of
how are
confidence?
we punching above our weight?
Also,
I don't understand that.
the narrative is
A lot of
nobody
people,
expected us
because
to be
Arsenal
good.
are fourth position, they think we are overachieving. How? That is to me, that is not a good statement again to Arsenal. We are not
Oh man.
overachieving. How are we overachieving while we are fourth?
Okay,
Arsenal,
so Mercy Boy, did
listen,
you?
listen,
Okay,
please. Arsenal is in fourth position at the moment, and anybody that comes to me that we are overachieving, we're not. We should be there in the first place. Don't
yeah,
tell
but
me we
did
are
you
Can I
expect
overachieving.
us
ask
to
you?
be there though?
Can I ask him? Let me pose the question to Mossy Boy. This is one thing that you don't understand, and this is one of the reasons we argue a lot. And
Yes.
what you don't understand is you are still looking at Arsenal with the
From paper.
players that we've got with the lens of the Arsenal of 2004 or back in the days. And that's the first mistake. Now, I understand that Arsenal are meant to be in the top four position. Nobody is arguing with you on that. But you failed the reality check test. You failed it. And there is a difference between where you're supposed to be as a big club called Arsenal and where you are in reality in terms of the quality you have in the club. There's a big difference. Now, look at Juventus. Are Juventus supposed to be losing yesterday to the team that? No.
No, that was a
But
terrible
it was
thing.
quite obvious that if you look at the team right now, it is not the Juventus of old. It is not the Juventus. They've been on the downward spiral. They've been kicked out of the Champions League for the last 3 or 4 years now. Is it last 16 quarterfinal? They've been kicked out very early in the Champions League. Now, the point I'm making is you can't compare that team, Juventus, for instance, with the likes of the Del Pieros and Nedved period. That's my point. So you need to understand that history, yes, Arsenal should not be where they are. We understand that. We're not dumb. The club has a big name. Based on the name of the club, we should be
Right.
winning stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a reality check test. And the reality check test is we are not doing what we're supposed to do to be a big club. Look at Man United, for instance. Man
Yeah.
United since 2013. Tell me, the players that these guys have got, the amount of money that they've spent, are they not supposed to be challenging Man City every season? But no, if you look at the quality of players in Manchester City, you look at the quality of players in Man United, there's a big gulf. That's the point we're trying to make to you. We're not saying that Arsenal shouldn't be, in top four. We should be there based on the heritage of the club, or based on how big the club is on paper. But
Fan
come
base.
on, there's a reality check, man. You need to live in the real world.
Do you want me to tell you the two the
By the way,
mistake
Mercy Boy,
this
before you respond,
yeah.
let me just take this quick comment from Osman Ali because I like how Osman Ali is always pressing Tade's neck. He says Tade rearranged spells date. Remember this date, 17th of March 2022, as the day where he showed up on his own channel.
These guys
It's
are
like
idiots,
a
man.
threat remembering his job is to put the ball in the back of the net. Anyways, Mercy Boy, continue.
I'm not gonna blame you, Osman. I
Okay,
swear to God.
so do you know first of all, I want to say maybe probably I understand exactly what you are saying. Okay. Man United and not Arsenal, yeah. These are the two clubs that have uh, the longest man, Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson, right? I can tell you the reason why, because I'm not going to say the two clubs have players, good players, quality players. However, I would say the reason why maybe probably they're struggling is because they are not those two clubs are not bringing the right manager in place. If you think, if look at, for example, look at Liverpool, all the players they sign, they're not players that kind of apart from Van Dijk that make name for himself and lead in that Liverpool team. Maybe probably Jota that started to make name for himself in a Wolves team because they have the right manager. That's why those players are performing. Do you think if they put a better manager in that Arsenal, those players are Arsenal, they are not bad players, they're all quality players. But it depends on the person that actually managing them to get the best out of them. Then
No, I disagree.
Are you done? Are you done? I was gonna say.
yeah, I am.
I was gonna say
So it
something.
depends on the person that is looking after those players.
I don't think it solely depends on the manager, and this is another misconception, right? Akuma, let me just say this quickly.
Yeah, sure, brother.
It's not just dependent on the manager.
Mm-hmm.
Mourinho came out to say stuff about Man United. I don't know if you guys have seen the video that's been circulating where he referred to Man United as heritage, right?
Yeah.
And what he was referring to there is we're just that club is just like a, how will I put it? It's like an asset. It's like a football asset that has been inherited and expected to always be in the winning side. It's now a myth because everyone believes Man United should be winning. Yes, it's a myth. But the reality is there's a lot of things that are rotten to the core within that club that is beyond the manager. Beyond the manager. Mourinho still remains the most successful manager since Ferguson left in Man United, and he was sacked.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is problems in clubs are usually beyond managers, especially Man United and Arsenal and Tottenham as well. I'm going to put them in the mix. These three clubs, the problems are beyond managers. And we go back to what we're telling you about Conte. Remember what you were saying about Conte, and I think we talked about this last time I came on the street. You thought Conte was just going to just bring a magic wand and everything is going to be fine. But
No,
that's not the case.
No.
That's what you said, Mossy Boy.
No. I don't get me wrong. What I said is, if Conte remains as Tottenham manager, Tottenham will probably win the title before Arsenal win it again. That's what I said.
What you said was they were going to win it. You didn't say probably.
No. I'm not saying I'm not saying they're going to win it. I said they're going to win the title before Arsenal.
Good. But Mossy Boy, do you still think that's going to happen now?
But
looking at the way Tottenham has been and the way
because the Conte is a better manager than our own manager.
Okay.
Fine. Did you hear what the same Conte came out to say?
Did you remember that? I thought he was going to resign.
Did you remember that he not even once, not twice, he said it on different occasions? Can you know that? Did you know that he was literally saying I need time? That was reminiscence of what Arteta was saying.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent. It's exactly the same thing. He said he needs time because he realized how bad things were in that club. Now, all I'm trying to say, and I don't want to take too much time, all I'm trying to say is when you look at different clubs, you have to understand the problems in those clubs first before you start comparing them. I feel it's very wrong for us to be comparing the situation in Arsenal with the situation in Manchester City. It's different. It's totally different. They have a good foundation. As soon as Arsene Wenger left, a lot of things got broken in that club. A lot of things. And it was going to take a manager that was going to be given time to rebuild. But unfortunately, we didn't understand that. We were expecting to win stuff immediately. Look at Unai Emery. I never wanted Unai Emery gone. I never wanted him gone. And he's doing his thing now. He's doing his thing even with a smaller club. You need time for some of these clubs that have bigger problems than just on the pitch. We had off the pitch problems. We had on the pitch problems. We had the Ozil problems. Now we had the Aubameyang problem. We were having all these Socrates. We were having Mustafi that the fans were going against. Kolasinac was there. Different players had to leave. So there was a lot of things going on in the club. And this is the problems that you need to understand that a manager is supposed to tackle first. So for me, I'm still going to give Arteta time. I'm still going to see who the players that are going to come in. And then from there, we can actually start saying the next 2 years, let's see what's going to happen. Not you just judging this guy based on problems that are bigger than him.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, I always feel like regardless of whatever anybody has felt about Arteta is still in the job and we're not going to sack him. And honestly, Mossy Boy, regardless of what you think, I think that if he makes top 4, I don't think we're going to sack him. I know you might still want him gone, but I don't think it
Yeah,
would be
but
justifiable
if we
to let
listen,
him go at
if
that
we
point.
make top 4 and is still in the job, I'm sure it's not going to take long for
Well,
him
we would see. We all thought I thought he was going to get fired this season, but he hasn't been fired, so we'll see. Anyways, big ups to you, Theo. I know Theo had tried to join us like twice. If you're there, you can still try to join again. I'm not sure what's going on with your audio. Big ups to you, Slayer. He says Arsenal to miss out on deal for a Rice Dream signing. I made talk of 6.1 Pogba offer. I'm not sure what that is. Are we making an offer for Pogba? Big ups to you, Starling. He
I
says
don't even want Pogba at Arsenal
we
because
don't
I
even need
don't
Pogba.
want
Let
to.
me be
We
honest
don't
with
need
you.
it.
We don't need Pogba. What we need right now is a striker. I wanted Tade to just speak a little bit about Lacazette before we move on. Tade, I think one of the things we saw yesterday was that, compared to Liverpool, one of the things we didn't have was that, cutting edge when it comes to finishing, which I think Lacazette is supposed to offer. But Lacazette obviously plays more of a midfield role. I said it earlier that the thing that Robertson did to create Firmino's goal, Martinelli had done it a lot of times, and there was just nobody at the end of it. So, Tade, do you think, Lacazette's new way of, striking or that thing, do you think it's going to cost us in this race for top 4?
I actually thought we were talking about Man City and Liverpool today. That was the title.
Yeah,
But anyway.
that's really what I want to get to after all of this.
We're talking about Arsenal. Anyway, listen, we all know that this Lacazette is not that clinical striker. We've given him enough time, whether we like it or not. Yes, there are other things he brings to the game which other strikers don't. I was watching Barcelona and Galatasaray today, and I could see a big difference between Lacazette and Aubameyang. Aubameyang, several times they stole the ball from his back. That guy cannot play with his back to go to save his life, and Lacazette can. You can see there's a big difference. But then what Aubameyang has is the ability to be able to find himself in those positions and either tap in or score, similar to what Firmino did yesterday. And that's what Lacazette doesn't have. And this is one of the reasons why I keep saying Lacazette, for me, should be playing with a top striker that's going to be clinical. Then he can hold up the play late for that striker or late for the midfielders, and then they can score. So he's not someone we can rely on. He's definitely not someone we can rely on. But what's been working in the last 10 games, or last 12 games rather, we've won 10 out of 12, right? What's been working in the last 12 games is the fact that he's always there to lay those passes for all the other guys. But let's not forget, he's been doing that for a long time. The difference now is the fact that the likes of Saka have stepped up their game, because Saka has been atrocious in front of goal. We know that last season. This season is improved. And that's the difference. It's not that Lacazette has done anything special. He's been doing those laying of passes and holding up since last season. But when you give the likes of Saka opportunity or Emil Smith Rowe, they don't know how to score goals. And that's one of the reasons why there's a difference this season. Those guys have now improved on their goal scoring ability. And then we have Odegaard that's actually coming to also help. So I think for me, Lacazette is going to remain the same. I don't think anything is going to change. I'm sorry. I don't think anything is going to change. And if we have better offers, I really like him, but he has to go.
Yes.
If we have better offers, but he's not doing anything different. What's been different is the fact that other guys have stepped up in front of goal. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's what I think.
I completely agree.
But
with you.
I got
Very
a quick question, Taddy. But do you think we, for letting, well, a lot of people has asked this question, for letting Aubameyang leave
No, Most boy, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
in
Let's just
January?
move on from there. Big ups to you, Theo. Let's not go there, Musty boy. Big ups to you, Theo. Thank you for joining us. I think now I really just want us to focus more on the race for the EPL title, right? So
Yep.
at the moment, Theo, what's up? Good evening. Can you hear us?
No.
I don't think Theo can hear us. So
It's Nigerian
the
Nigerian
internet
network.
the internet not favor Theo this week. No issue. Just try to rejoin Theo. But anyways, guys, now Manchester City and Liverpool, they both played 29 games.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
City
me?
is just 1 point ahead of Liverpool, right? And it's just gearing up to be a very interesting race for that EPL title. Who do you think is going to win the league this season, Akuma?
Oh, I think it probably might be Liverpool, because I think Liverpool got the momentum now. Because you have to remember, Man City have won it twice in a row. Are they as hungry as Liverpool? Because Liverpool, when they won it 2 years ago, they didn't deal with their fans, and that must hurt them. So they've got an extra incentive to do it with the fans back in their stadium. So at this moment in time, the momentum's with Liverpool.
let me also add a bit more context, right? Let me add
I
a
don't
bit
know.
more context to
I
this.
don't agree, but
Let me add a bit more context to this, right? In the games left, right? I think there's a Manchester City versus Liverpool game happening on the 30th of April. I'll be
exactly.
sorry. On the is it 30th of April? Yeah, on the 10th of April, rather.
Yeah.
That I think is going to be a huge decider in this race, right?
Can't wait for that one.
But Manchester, apart from that game against Liverpool, Man City don't have to
They
play
don't
any
have any
other
big.
top
They don't
six.
have any big six at all. Yeah, exactly. That's what I
No
was
big
saying.
16
I don't.
at
That's what I'm
all.
saying. I don't agree.
Just Liverpool. Liverpool still have to play Manchester United. They still have to play Spurs, right? So
Exactly.
I think let's factor that in as well in the conversations that we make. So Tade, you can share your thoughts on that.
My thought is obviously the opposite of what Akuma said. I think Man City have a better run of games. That's literally what I was gonna say. And we know that these two teams can go for 10 games and win. We know that. We've seen it.
Very valid.
Right?
Very
So
valid.
based on that, logically, I mean, I'm not saying Liverpool can win it, don't get me wrong. I think they can if Man City slips up the way they've done against Crystal Palace. But right now, the pressure is now on. The question is, who is the pressure more on? Is it Manchester City or Liverpool? I would say the pressure is more on Man City. I'm not going to lie, because now that these guys are now 1 point behind them, the pressure is now more on them. Do you understand what I'm saying? But then again, you have to look at the fixtures. You have to look at the fixtures. How many of those people in that team, in all those remaining fixtures, are really going to scare Man City as such? How many of them? So that's why I'm tipping Man City.
Okay.
But then again, you never know.
We never know. Big ups to you, Theo. Theo, can you hear us now? Oh, it's sad. We still can't hear you, man. We still can't hear you. So I'm gonna come to you, Mossy Boy. So Mossy Boy, you've heard the the
Yeah, I
race,
can
the
hear you
journey
guys.
for
Can
that
you hear
EPL
me?
title.
Mm.
Who do you think is gonna win?
Can you hear me?
I'll still stick to Man City because Man
Wow.
City is at this stage in the Premier League now. 1 point is huge. It's a big gap. I would say 1 point. So Man City can go all the way, not losing any game. Even though if the game Man City and Liverpool end up in draw, they draw. Both of them didn't kind of nobody wins the game, but I still believe Man City will use that 1 point they have to go all the way to win that title. So I still believe but me personally, I don't care who, I don't care whoever person win it.
What
But
matters to
so
you is the top four.
top four, yes,
I think
yes.
Chelsea is also standard. They're going to be third. Anyways, let's see. Osman Ali says no football club is at their best every year of their existence. If they were, you would have one team winning 90 league titles. You have ups and downs. This is what Mossy Boy is not accepting. Mossy Boy, they are telling you you need to come back to earth with that with this your Arsenal agenda.
No. Listen. But let me. I've said it before, and I want to kind of clarify it. For example, look at Man City, look at Liverpool. They did. It's not like they go all the way all throughout the season without losing a game, but the consistency is there. You understand what I mean? So not like it's not like we're gonna be struggling to kind of stay above Tottenham or above West Ham, but at least that fourth place we should be fighting between Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal. That fourth place, not Tottenham or West Ham, and we'll be looking at about is West Ham coming, is Tottenham coming? No,
I
that's
think
not what I'm saying.
I think what Osman Ali is trying to say is everyone has their dead and dry patches. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Mhm.
Liverpool had theirs for 30 something. Is it 30 years? 1990
Yeah,
to
they had it for a
they
very
had
long time.
theirs. Chelsea was what? Was it 40 or 50? I think it was 50
Mhm.
before Mourinho. Even Man United. For a while before Ferguson won his first. Let's even go
Yeah.
back to when Ferguson took Man United back in the days. It took him about 6 years or so before he won, 6 or 7 before he won the league.
Mhm.
So what Osmani is trying to say is every club there are errors. I think that's the way to put it. It's almost like it's almost like musical artists and all that. There are times when this particular um artist is the one that is reigning, is the one that is on top, and then someone takes the baton from him. What they're trying to say is it's not every club that's going to be a Real Madrid. Real
Mhm.
Madrid, let's not forget, they have their own illegal means of doing things, but we're not even gonna get into that. Do you understand? That's the reason that one is a mafia
so
run.
so
That one is
so
so it's different, you
so
know.
what you're saying is, like, for example, now look at Manchester City.
Mhm.
Arab morning coming to
Exactly.
win them the title. So
Exactly.
Newcastle is in the same that position now.
Probably.
Are you saying
exactly.
that what we're saying here now, next season now, Newcastle will be among the mix?
I will not be surprised because
So
I will not be
because
surprised.
they can buy any player they want to buy.
Exactly.
They won't care how much they call that player.
Exactly.
For
And I'm
them
hearing
to actually for them to actually sign what's the name of that midfielder that Arsenal wants to sign in January? How did Newcastle sign that guy?
Gomares? No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah,
But I think we've spoken about it a little bit before. I think for me it was just money, right?
Yeah,
They're paying him a
that's
lot
the
of
thing.
money, and the Newcastle project. I mean, just on paper, all they had to do this season was stay up. You know, if they stay up, you can expect them to invest massively in the summer. So if people look at the Manchester City case study, you can say
yeah, they will
maybe
say, yeah, exactly.
Newcastle has a chance of competing in 3, 4, 5 years. So you know, they seem like an interesting project.
Yeah, and players are aware of that. Players are not stupid. They watch the news the way we do. They see all these things, and they know that this is where I want to be because they're gonna pay me more, and they know they're gonna attract bigger players. Bigger players are gonna go to Newcastle. I mean, let's not even start talking. I wanted to start talking about all the human rights violation that these people. But that one is a different topic because I was not getting into political whatever now. But the point is, most of these clubs are buying football, whether we like it or not. Chelsea started Abramovich. Well, Abramovich now as they've sanctioned him. The Sheikh guys came for Man City. Now the Saudi guys have come for Newcastle. So it's not same for the Man Uniteds of yesterday and the Arsenals of yesterday, whereby it was purely based on academy players, the schools, the gigs. They came out from the academy, and then they go into the first team. Nowadays they're poaching these boys from academy. They'll buy them, give them big money, go to these clubs. Things are different and people are woke. So it's not easy anymore to be the Arsenals of yesterday. That you be patient, you be priming players. Nobody has that time anymore. Nobody has that time anymore. That's why money speaks now. Money rules,
You
unfortunately.
gotta spend, man. And I think even us now, just judging by our last window, I think we are beginning to realize that, dude, you gotta spend.
We know.
In January, we're trying to buy Vlahovic. That's to let you know that we're realizing, dude, you need to drop money for the best players.
Exactly.
So it is
let me even remind you guys about something. Let me even remind you. I know I'll come on something. Let me just remind you guys about something. Remember before Arsene Wenger broke the bank on Arshavin? Do you guys remember the highest amount he spent on a player before Arshavin? Do you know who the player was? Can anybody remember? Before Arshavin? Exactly. Wiltord. How many years ago before then? Wiltord, and it was 13 million they spent on him, which was huge. But Arsene Wenger was like, okay, you know what? At least let me even spend some more money. Do you understand what I'm saying? The point I'm making is, then Arsenal didn't need to do that. But now we have no choice. We need to spend. But then it's not just about spending. It's about spending on the right player. Spending. Sometimes you don't even need to spend. You get a good player. Martinelli, how much you buying? 7 million, 6 million.
Exactly. That was a good signing, man. Anyways, Theo is here. Theo, I think the things Theo could not say on air is saying here, Mossy Boy is suffering from PTSD. Don't worry, Mossy Boy. Good times are coming. The next era.
Listen, we're going to sit down here next season. We're going to be saying
I said the next era, not next season.
Listen, in the next era, we're going to sit down here next season. We'll be saying, oh, can Arsenal finish top 4? Can Arsenal finish top 6? We're going to be saying the same thing. Watch.
Anyway, he says it's
You
a
will
process, Mossy Boy. There's clear progress in the squad. It's still a young team.
Which process? Like I said, kids not going to win you nothing.
Well, and it says Liverpool just showed they were elite by taking their only 2 major chances. We had our chance with Lingard and we missed fine margins. And I think we said that earlier. Another thing I wanted to say was, so Man City and Liverpool are also still in the Champions League. And I feel like the pressure of trying to win the Champions League is more on Man City than on Liverpool, because I think that's the one icing on the cake that Pep hasn't had.
Good point.
Right? Yeah. Do you think that can have an effect in how Pep considers the league as well? Because at the end of the day, if he loses the league, it's not that big a deal. He's won it 1,000 times. I mean, not 1,000 times literally, but you get what I mean. But the Champions League is the thing that I think matters more to Pep. So do you think it is a chance where he might choose to put more focus on that than on the league, and that can affect his chances? I don't know, Tade, did you have a thought about that?
Yeah, I do. I was going to allow Akuma. I don't know if you want to say something.
Okay, Akuma, do you want to go?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point as well. And I didn't realize about the running for Man City. That may have revised my evaluation and stuff. But yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be fine margins as well because, like I just said, Man City have not won the Champions League, and that's the title he wants. If you were to give Guardiola the choice, he'll say, "Oh, give Liverpool the league, so far win the Champions League." That's what he cares about because he wants his legacy. Yeah, so that could
But
be
I mean I have a completely different opinion on those two. But I don't think he will want to because he hasn't won the Champions League. I don't think he will just give up the league like just for
no, he
Liverpool to
wouldn't
win
give up the
like
league, but if
it
you gave
would
the choice,
me
he would.
it would prefer to win both of them
No, he
instead
would.
of yeah.
No, but no, if you had to win one, he will say, "Yeah,
Yeah, but
sacrifice the league."
sometimes it's in like maybe you have a game on Wednesday that is
Mm,
very
Yeah,
important, and you have a game on Sunday, and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to field my best team on Sunday because I want my
yeah,
players to be fresh on Wednesday. That's sort of
yeah.
where you see that treatment in how they
yeah,
determine which one is more
but
important.
even though Man City second team, they are ruthless.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
you,
gonna say, I was
you
gonna say
understand
that,
what
man.
I mean? So
Yeah, I was gonna say
it
that.
doesn't matter what team
Yeah,
Pep field, they're good enough to do the job
exactly.
anyway.
And if you look at the running of games, the teams they have are the
Mm,
likes of Southampton, Aston Villa,
mm,
Everton, Newcastle. The only tough games they really, well, on paper, the only tough
mm,
games they have is Wolves and Liverpool. I
mm,
think I can't remember, but I
and then
think those are the
maybe
two top.
West Ham, Sha, if you
Maybe
consider
good.
West Ham a
Maybe
tough
West
team.
Ham. Maybe West. Of course, West Ham is a tough team. Sorry, I forgot that.
mhm,
So for me, those are the three teams that you can say are really, really tough. That are in the top 10 or top 8. That are gonna give them a hard running. And I think that point you made about having that extra pressure in Champions League is definitely gonna affect them. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely gonna affect them because whether we like it or not, he can have a second team. He can bring the likes of Gundogan in. He can bring the likes of Jesus in. If he likes, he can bench Grealish, play Foden, Mahrez. Mix it up a little bit. Play Silva. He has a second team, but at the same time, sometimes when things are not going right, you have to bring those first team into play because that
mm,
happens. He had his first team against Crystal Palace and they couldn't stay win. So there will be odd games where
mm.
they're gonna suffer and they will need
Yeah,
those big boys to play. Even if they played 2 days ago in Champions League, he will still bring
yeah,
them in because he wants to win
yeah.
everything. But I
Mhm.
think what you've said is a very good point. I think the added pressure is gonna be on them because let's not lie, if this guy doesn't win Champions League this season,
Is like, guy, maybe you need to go and look for another job because you
But
exactly.
can't.
I don't. If he doesn't win Champions League, I don't think it will probably leave Man City. And again, like it will want to win it. It will put probably put everything in it to win that
Yeah.
Champions League because
Anyways,
Because
the team that is left in the Champions League now is just I think it's probably Real Madrid that will give them a lot of headache in there and
do you
Liverpool.
know what? I disagree,
Mm,
honestly, because honestly, see, let's go back to
mm.
PSG and Real Madrid. Did you
And
guys
Real
watch that
Madrid,
game?
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Do you know that
yeah.
if not because of the stupid mistakes
That
that the
for
defenders
PSG,
made,
yeah.
they would
Real
have
Madrid would be
they would have
yeah.
exactly. Let's not lie. Let's not lie. Yes, we're all bigging up Benzema with his
Mm,
goals and all that. I was crossing the defenders more than I was jubilating with Benzema because I
mm,
felt they were atrocious mistakes that
mm,
shouldn't be made. Do you understand
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm,
So they wrote their luck, they finished their
mm,
dinner, fine.
Mhm.
Benzema finished his dinner, he had a hat trick.
yeah.
But if Man City should meet Real Madrid, I personally think Man City will edge it.
Man City
Yeah,
will win.
I think they're a better team. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I think they're a
Probably
better
can.
Yeah,
team.
but Tade, it's good that you actually bring this up. I want to this one is completely off what our
Mm-hmm.
discussion is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to kind of bring it in what Michael Richards said about Benzema. He's saying that Benzema is now in the level of Harry Kane. I'm not sure whether you guys saw that comment.
Mm.
No,
Do
it's
you
not.
Mm-hmm.
do
This
you
is
do you
Michael.
disagree with that, Mosi boy?
I 110% disagree.
I
So,
think
so
I think I think I think it's
and
the
then
other way around. I think it's the other way around, in my
is no,
opinion.
no, 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 no. Tade is not the other way
No, what
around.
I'm saying it should
He
be the other way
actually
around.
said he's never rate Benzema. That
Okay,
Which is
so
what
no,
now,
so Mosi boy, are you saying that Harry Kane is better than Benzema, or are you
no,
saying
no, no.
Benzema is better than Harry Kane?
When did
I think
when did Benzema start playing? When did Harry Kane started
exactly.
playing?
Exactly. That's what I'm
So
asking. I'm actually
that is the
answering
thing. Why do you want to say Benzema is now on Hurricane's level?
English players.
You don't compare those two players at all in any
English.
way, shape, or
I mean,
form.
you can't compare them though, Mossy Boy. However, that's why I said he should have said it the other way around.
The other,
Like
that's right.
that's what I was trying to say. Like I think you should have said, Hurricane is now on Benzema because let's be honest, if not because of Ronaldo back then from Lyon, let's not forget Benzema of Lyon back then before they even
Yeah.
bought him. We knew, in fact, Man United wanted to buy him. Alex Ferguson wanted to buy him, but
Yes.
he refused. I said, "I'm going to Real Madrid." He has always been scoring goals. He has always been a goal scorer. He has always been a goal machine. So I think that's an insult. It's almost like when they were asking Eto, how was it like when you played with Messi? Then he told the reporter that no, you should be asking Messi how it was to play with me.
Yeah.
That Messi played with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Have you
That's
guys seen
right.
that?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes,
So
you
I
know,
think it's just the English. I agree with you, Mossy Boy. That's not
as good as
that's a
Hurricane is, he has not competed at the level that Benzema has
So how
competed
many
at.
No.
trophy Hurricane has
He
won?
hasn't won
How many
that, has
trophy
he?
Benzema
He
has
hasn't
won?
even won anything.
You know?
But anyways, I was going to talk
But
a
he's
little
won
bit about.
something though. He's won Golden Boots.
Well, who cares?
This is another argument. This is another argument that I would have loved us to talk about. Like, I don't rate players based on trophy. That's me, Tade Osho. I don't.
We know
And I
that.
say that in quotes. I
I know
don't
that
rate players based on
100%.
trophy. Honestly, I don't.
We really need to talk about this topic,
No,
like
I
you said,
don't.
completely
I
on in
don't.
another show.
Because if you guys want us to use that as an example,
Yeah.
I will tell you that O'Shea is better than Drogba.
Yeah, but no. Tade,
Now,
what
do
I
you
want to
understand
say,
where I'm coming from?
we're not gonna be talking about player like O'Shea or player like.
But why not? Why not?
But
Why
the
not?
thing is, we want to be
No, why
talking
not?
about Muller,
The
Lewandowski.
players
No.
that had an
You understand?
influence
But
in the trophy race.
O'Shea is gonna tell his kids and his grandchildren he's won more than Pogba,
True.
Yes.
whether you like it or not.
Whether he respects it or not, he has won more trophies than
So
Pogba.
this is the reason. These are part of the reasons I don't use, because if Van Persie did not go to Man United, in history, people will not remember how good he was.
Yeah.
But he was better than millions of strikers that had trophies.
Millions of strikers. Yes.
Let's be honest. This is why I just don't buy the idea. But sorry, I interrupted you, Bemega. I just
No
don't buy the
problem.
idea.
I wanted, because I know before we started talking about the Benzema and Hurricane thing, we were talking about the Champions League and the people that were still in it, right? Because Bayern Munich is still in it. I think they're probably one of the toughest teams in the world right now. Chelsea are still in it. Atletico Madrid are still in it. So it seems to me that there's still a long way to go for either Liverpool or Man City, especially when we're talking about Man City now. If they're going to be able to win it, these are the kinds of oppositions that they're going to be facing, right? So I imagine if in the quarterfinals now you give them is Man City versus Bayern, the league will suffer. They won't care about the league in that moment though, because while they're playing those two games, they will put all their eggs into trying to defeat Bayern, because that will be a really tough game. So I mean, just to put it out there, that I think that the Champions League is still wide open. There's a lot of tough oppositions in there.
That's true, though. That's true.
And
That's true.
Anybody that will win it will do well to win it. Osman Ali says, "I'm tired overreactionary takes. As soon as someone does anything of quality, they get overhyped. Benzema is being compared to Henry. I heard someone say top 10 strikers ever. I could name 30."
Yeah, I don't.
This is what happens. Especially on
Twitter.
Twitter, it's like, and I feel sorry to talk about Arsenal a little bit now, but I feel like this happens a lot. You see people do this. It's why a lot of people are always very angry when people talk about Arteta, because you see people come online and say, "Wow, Arteta is better than Arsene Wenger. Go and check and see what Arteta has achieved in his first 2 years. Wenger never achieved this in his first year." Like, just praise Arteta. Say Arteta, you're doing well. You don't need to go and compare him to somebody else, because you are setting him up for dragging. It's like what they do with Odegaard and Ozil too now. People want to praise Odegaard. Like, cool, Odegaard is doing well. But by the time you mention Ozil, you've caused problems, because everybody will now ask you, has he done what Ozil has done? Right? And the guy just got here. Let him grow. Let him have his time at Arsenal. Let him set his own legacy. So yeah, that is a very valid point.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, let's talk about the coming game week. Arsenal are the ones opening this next game week, which is pretty interesting. We're starting our game against I think it's Aston Villa. They were playing very early on
12:30.
Yeah,
on
very
Saturday.
very early on Saturday. What do you guys think about that game? I know it's away against Villa. Villa, they have Coutinho now. They have Steven G. They seem like they're on the rise as well. They've been doing well in the past couple of weeks. What do you think about them? Do you think Arsenal can win that game? Akuma, what do you think?
It's a tricky game. So it's one of them Wolves games whereby it may not, obviously Arsenal can definitely win it, but it's not going to be an easy game and stuff. So if we get a 1-0 win, I'll be happy. But by the way, Nigeria scored. What's his name for Everton?
Iwobi.
Our boy.
Iwobi
scored. Yeah.
He scored for. Time. Oh my God! They beat Newcastle.
Yeah, in injury time. Yes.
That's sad, man. Okay, interesting. Tade, what do you think about the Villa game?
I want them to use that game as a springboard, because what tends to happen is after you get beat like yesterday, which was quite dampening, sometimes that could affect their psyche, and that could also affect the way they get their rhythm back, and I just hope that defeat from yesterday would not affect them going into this game. And I mean, naturally, what I would expect Arteta to do is maybe give a few players a rest. But I think what's happening is the fact that Arteta is a bit scared of starting the likes of Pepe or starting the other players like Nketiah. I think
even Smith Rowe these days,
or Smith Rowe. I think he's scared because he doesn't want to break the rhythm that these guys have grown. But honestly, maybe he should take that risk and just. I honestly don't know. I don't know, because it's also a tough game. We're going away.
It's a tough
Do you understand? So this is a difficult job for a manager, because naturally you would expect that you should rest some players and start some of these other players. But then you look around and look
Saka, for example, seems like
exactly. But then you look at the bench. If you compare them, we keep comparing Liverpool, and Liverpool yesterday they could afford to bench Salah, but they had Luis Diaz and they had Jota, and Jota scored and they substituted him. So the point I'm making is, they can easily make those substitutions, but for us now, we're looking at that and we're like, we need to rest players. But you say, okay, look at the bench. Who are we going to bring on? I think I'm better off starting this guy all over again. So this is the problem that we're having in the club, right? But for me, I think we'll be able to win that game. Maybe a 1-0. A 2-0 will be a stretch because it's away. And I think a 1-win, a 1-0 win. I think that's what I'm going for. But I'm just praying that this defeat doesn't affect them.
Doesn't affect them. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't affect them as well. Akuma, sorry, Mosiboy, what do you think about the game?
Yeah, but the way I'm looking at it is, before we lost to Man City, we have a run of games that we have a run of good games, right? Before we lost that game to Man City, and we play after we lost to Man City, we play
Burnley and drew. We didn't bounce back immediately. We played Burnley and drew.
We played Burnley and drew. Then after that, we kind of go on a run before we lost again to Liverpool. So I'm thinking maybe probably going into that game, and it's away as well. So, and it is away when we played that Burnley game as well, if I'm correct.
No, so, I think it was even at home. But yeah, I see your point.
I'm thinking, well, I will just support my team here, so that they just need to kind of step up, because they like Tari said, they're a young team. They probably affect them psychologically on how are we going to get a result in this game, so they can go there a little bit of nervousness, and and again, if Aston Villa went on to score first, that's another thing. So,
but anyways, I'm a bit more confident.
I will still support my team that I will go 2-0.
Yeah, I'm a bit more. I mean, the game. Who remembers that game when we went with a goal down against Wolves? I think what that game showed me was that we're now capable of coming back from a goal down. So I think even if Villa scored first, I will still be hopeful that we can come back and maybe win. But yeah, we'll see. This game week is a very short game week. There are only 5 games. I think the only other really significant game is Tottenham versus West Ham, which is interesting because it's sort of like 2 people who are also trying to make top 4.
If any of those teams lost, if Tottenham lose that game or West Ham lose that game, one of them will be out top 4.
He's out of top 4, right? But what do you think?
They should draw. This
is what I was saying last week when Manchester United and Tottenham played. right? If I'm
I was
correct.
expecting a draw.
Like,
Yeah.
please just draw. Just draw. I don't know why Ronaldo went to score a trick. Like, guy, you scored 2 goals. Leave it, you know. But it is what it is. What do you think about the West Ham game, the Tottenham West Ham, in the form that they both are in? Who do you think is going to edge it, Mercy Boy?
I can see West Ham winning.
Okay, okay. Tade, what about you?
Yeah, there's a high chance that West Ham might be able to do it, but I mean, Tottenham are kind of getting their groove back. I'm not even gonna lie, but they're very inconsistent. so maybe West Ham. Who's playing at home? That's the question.
Tottenham is at home. Spurs are at home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, funny things, both of them are on the same points, even though Tottenham have a game in hand. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I hope we win. Akuma, I don't know. What do you think about the game? Do you think
Well,
can edge it?
like I said, anytime I predict opposition winning against Tottenham surprised me. So I'm going to go for Tottenham win in the
So that okay now. Anyways, no problem. Anyways, I think it's a good place to wrap up the show. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks to everyone. Osman Ali, Theo, thank you for joining us as well. Slayer, Stalin, all of you guys. Thank you for chilling with Lasgidi Effect. And we'll be back again next week with more Lasgidi Effect. Hopefully by then there'll be more, with our beating Villa, things will be chill and all of that. But until then, thanks big ups to everybody, big ups to Tade, Mosiboy Akuma, and we will see you next week. Bye guys.
All right, peace.
Tick tock, time na money. Ori, me, check a shake yori. Lick it, come and take me away to the place of my desire.